Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Scythe of Nahr Alma, which you can get from killing Techi Grin, the leader of the Brotherhood of Blood Covenant, and then purchasing it from the Hag Merchant Melentia in either the Forest of Fallen Giants if you haven't had her move to Majula, or in Majula if you actually made her move. So, this weapon, it's one that we don't see very often. Scythes, Reapers in general, they're not common. But this one is especially uncommon, and for a few good reasons. First off, it's just extremely outclassed, but we'll get into that a little bit more later. Let's get started on the basic stats for the weapon. This weapon requires 14 strength, 12 dexterity, 12 intelligence, and 12 faith in order to wield. It has a B scaling in strength, a D scaling in strength, a B scaling in dexterity, and a C scaling in dark. The physical base damage of the weapon is 140, and the dark base is 100. And for me, the attack rating with this weapon was around 470 with a Ring of Blades and Flynn's Ring. The counter strength of this weapon is 110. Poise damage is 15 per hit, and the weight is 5 units. Now, with this weapon, if you do infuse it with dark, it of course will be better for buffing. When you do infuse it with dark, your scalings change to a E scaling in strength, C in dexterity, and a higher tier of C in dark. It's not much of a change, but it is what it is. The physical base damage drops down to a 117, the dark base goes up to a 156, and this brought my attack rating with it up to around 490. It's not much of a difference, but it is more dark focused, so of course if you're going to be buffing, it will be better. Now, this weapon, I would say that the biggest pro of it would be the shield piercing ability. It's nothing unique to this weapon, but it's very useful, and when people don't catch on to the fact that you are going through their shield, it makes it really entertaining. So there's that. In addition to that, you do have the dark damage that it deals, so you'll have an extra bit of chip damage anyway, so it makes it a little extra good at what it's already doing in that regard. Other pros, you've got the length. It's a bit longer than the Bone Scythe. It feels a bit longer than the Great Scythe, in all honesty. But I'm not sure if it actually is longer than the Great Scythe. It just feels that way to me. But either way, because of its length, you can do some combos that you couldn't do with the shorter reaching scythes, and people don't always expect to be in range, which is a good thing for you and a bad thing for them. However, this weapon has a lot of cons. That's really all I've got for the pros, and those are going out on a limb. The length is kind of going out on a limb. So the biggest con of the weapon would be the sweet spots, typical for a Reaper class weapon. They make the weapon awkward to use and difficult to use, and it's just not enjoyable at times. In addition to that, you've got the length, which also can be a con. Because it's so long, it can be awkward to get hits on people because they're always trying to get in close. That takes them out of your sweet spot and means you'll deal less damage. Not a good thing. And finally, this weapon is 100% totally, completely outclassed. The Scythe of Want, guys. The Scythe of Want. It does everything that this weapon does, but better. It's got a better moveset, it's shorter, it's more easy to hit people because it's shorter, and the sweet spots are a little more friendly as such. And it's just outclassed. And that's sad, because this had the potential to be a pretty decent weapon. And it still is a decent one, it's just not a great one. It's not the best in its class, it's not the worst in its class, it's just average. But anyway, this is the last fight, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful in one way or another, and I will see you all next time.